GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus, gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Good morning, Guam, and thanks for starting your day the KUAM way. Group Chat, Chris Barnett, and we're here at Guam Homeland Security Office of Civil Defense with Danil Calvo, who's a tsunami specialist, and of course, Jenna Gamindi Blas, who kind of handles all the comms here. What's your official?
Public Information Officer.
That's what I meant, you know.
People
That's
call
way
me different things, but that
right.
one works.
To me, you're like, she handles all the comms. So it's a Tsunami Awareness Day, and you know, it kind of dawned on us yesterday that, wow, tomorrow is the big day for you guys, and just kind of wanted to touch base and talk about tsunami awareness.
This is awesome because we really appreciate the help getting the word out.
Wow.
I know a lot of people follow on Facebook Live, so we're excited to be here. So thank you for coming down to our cold office.
It's freezing in here.
It is.
I mean, when I was coming in, everyone's wearing like their winter clothes. So if you're looking for winter on Guam, it's right here at Homeland Security Office Civil Defense. So a big day. I guess we could just start by maybe kind of run through the activities that you guys have planned for today.
So today we are actually going to be distributing some NOAA weather radios to some selected personnel, a bunch of DoD staff, to private schools, some Christian schools, yeah.
And these are pretty cool.
So the NOAA weather radio, when we distribute it, we have a distro list, and the intent is...
That's kind of an insider term, right? A distro list. It's
distribution list, yes.
Right, yeah.
Distribution list.
Right.
We work with a lot of our emergency management partners, and we just want to make sure everyone's prepared, especially with tsunami awareness, earthquake awareness, the cause and effect, and yeah, just so everyone's prepared.
So this is pretty cool, and I know you guys are going out this afternoon to the schools and whatnot to give these out. Can you kind of explain what it do?
What it do?
Yeah, what does this do?
When you turn it on, NOAA or NWS, it provides public forecasts, and it also provides weather synopsis. So anything weather related, things that they want the public to know, some pertinent information will be disseminated through this device.
Wow, that's pretty cool, Jenna.
Yeah, so alert warning system. It's a one for your office, and we're really happy to be giving these out. I know last year we had a really heavy initiative to give it to the Department of Education schools, some of our government of Guam partners, our military partners, and so this year's focus was really on those private partnerships, the private schools, some of the private and nonprofit organizations, really all of the different stakeholders, and especially those in low-lying areas.
Right, and you know, before we went on, you guys kind of pulled a Mythbusters on me because I've been telling my boy Channing is, like, his worst fear is tsunamis, and
Oh no.
you know,
My worst fear is earthquakes. I feel him.
right. So he watched that movie Impossible, which is all about a tsunami. I know
Such a good movie.
it's a crying movie,
Such a good movie.
but he was so hung up about it, and you know, he kept bringing up tsunamis, and like everywhere we went, he's like, Dad, if a tsunami hit, would it be okay here? And so I told him, I was like, you don't have to worry because, and this is actually a myth. I said Guam can't be hit by a tsunami because the reef, and it's a combination of the reef and Santa Maria Comelin
And the
protecting
trench.
us, and the trench.
We hear
right?
that a lot. Yeah.
So that's actually not true.
It's not. So one of the biggest misconceptions is that it can't happen here. We're talking about a destructive tsunami. You know, we don't anticipate, and again, this is guidance we receive from our partners with National Weather Service, but we don't anticipate seeing a wave of destructive tsunami covering the whole entire island of Guam, but Guam can definitely still get impacted by a destructive tsunami. And we're talking about something with wave records of, you know, over 20 feet high or over 40 feet high. That's a very real possibility here. How can it not be? We're surrounded by water. So we let
Sorry,
people...
guys. I feel like I let you down.
One of our biggest community outreach pushes, we go to a lot of different schools. We really try to teach the youth in the community that although it's very rare to have a destructive tsunami, it can definitely happen here. And we really use our partners and our family members from American Samoa who've actually been through a destructive tsunami. And they too are surrounded by a reef. Mm-hmm. They also have one of the largest trenches in the world. So they too also didn't think that a destructive tsunami could happen to them. And we work very closely with them when we meet them at conferences. So we're able to see some of their best practices because they had a really huge destructive tsunami in 2009. It was devastating to their community. You know, unfortunately lives were lost. Some of the wave records were 41 feet high. So
wow.
we want to remind the community that although it's very rare, we want to be prepared before it actually does happen. If you go to American Samoa now, they're extremely prepared, and we've sat through briefs that they provided us and showed us, how bolstered they are now. They have so many sirens. The children in their community know exactly where to go and how to evacuate, and it's because they went through something so devastating. So we really want to prepare the island before that happens, because it's a very real possibility here.
And I feel like I'm gonna have a really big talk with my son.
Yeah,
Channing
now
this
you gotta
week.
let him watch this podcast.
Yeah. So let's talk about that awareness and how it's evolved over the years. Because in my childhood, we didn't really hear much about tsunamis, and with Guam Homeland Security Office of Civil Defense, I feel like it kind of really started with these cartoons that you guys have.
Good job, Danielle.
Right.
So we have the disaster preparedness kits, and one of them is Tsunami McKenna. It started out with one of the former employees, her child, who is in fact Tsunami McKenna. And
So that's based on a real person.
yes.
Wow.
And so
She's a lot older now.
I know. And so Tsunami McKenna, she's kind of become like a local
Celebrity.
local
Right.
celebrity. And so kids in the elementary schools, or pretty much all the grade schools.
That's Tsunami McKenna.
Yes.
You see her in the movie theaters and commercials.
Right.
Exactly. And the food courts, movies, and sometimes like commercials and stuff.
Right.
We just want to
Yeah.
get awareness out there, and what better way than to have like a character, someone to kind of associate with for tsunami awareness and preparedness.
Yeah, and that's something I think, in marketing, you always want to use things that are cute and
Yeah.
that grab attention, especially with trying to educate the younger generation so that they in turn will educate their kids, and it's really a great idea.
So a lot of the presentations, the education outreach, a lot of the kids already know. Every time we go out there and we speak to them, they know get to higher ground, and if you're in a concrete building, get to the top floor. So they get really excited about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
We've had people, I think, dress up for Halloween as Tsunami McKenna and Janessa Quake,
Yeah.
and they've actually sent their photos to us, let us share it on our social media. I didn't see any this year, but we've seen some pretty good ones in the past.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, let's get to the awareness part and what to do in the event of a tsunami, because you guys test the sirens all the time. So
We do.
that's
We
kind
actually
of,
have a
there's that
test today.
familiarity, right?
Yeah. We have a test that's going to happen today at 3:15. So if you hear sirens in your area, it's just a test, first Tuesday of the month. It's a routine monthly test that we do. But Danelle really highlights tsunami preparedness really well. I mean, there's some really basic things that you can remember, and I know she can.
You can take it away,
Highlight
Danelle.
those.
That's your cue.
We also have, I'm not too sure if everyone's familiar, but we have posted tsunami evacuation signs throughout the island,
Right.
mostly low-lying areas. So I just, remind people or the community to be cognizant, in the event, heaven forbid, we ever experience any type of tsunami, that we know exactly what to do and where to go. Get to higher ground, and if you're in a building, get to the top floor. That way we can always make sure that life safety is paramount.
I want to go back to this movie Impossible.
I love the movie. It's a good one. It's based on a true story. You just
It
can't
is.
beat that. They
Yeah.
all come together
I
at the
know.
end. I'm
I
sorry
cried
to spoil
too.
it,
Don't
but
worry, I cried
watch
too.
it if you haven't watched it.
How important is that plan, though, in the event of a tsunami when, it's tragic, you have separation of family members? How important is it to have that kind of plan
Oh, it's very, very
and
important.
practice it and have it, second nature?
So a lot of, like Tsunami Awareness Day, we have Earthquake and Tsunami Preparedness Week or month. We like to highlight those efforts, but on your everyday plan, if you should practice it or actually build one. Make a plan with your family to ensure that it's like muscle memory, that exactly in the event, heaven forbid it happens, they know exactly what to do. And they can also educate and share the information with their friends and the rest of the community. It'll be a whole community effort.
And let's talk disaster kit now. One disaster kit, you guys kind of make it so that this disaster kit is kind of a catch-all
All
for any
hazards,
of,
yes,
right? So
definitely.
earthquakes,
Any kind of disaster.
storms. What are we putting in that disaster kit?
I actually just built another kit with my daughter recently, and she was actually giving me some tips, and with the outreach, Mom, we should put this in there.
We need some gummy bears, Mom. More
an
gummy
important
bears.
snack.
Yeah.
So definitely,
Snacks are important, right?
Exactly. So definitely food and water, non-perishable food, a first aid kit, I've done some research on YouTube and just online, and just different things that can cater to different types of emergencies and disasters. So you can really build it. There's a, you can make the basics, but you can really cater, to your needs.
Right, and so
your
now,
family.
maybe nowadays, people would want to put like mosquito repellent or something
Exactly,
like
exactly.
that.
We recently started
Absolutely.
adding them to ours too.
Oh, nice.
You can put like blankets, extra clothes, flashlights, extra batteries, stuff like that.
And let's talk, I saw this here, so boat owners, tsunamis, can we cover that real quick? Like, what should boat owners know?
So with boat owners, it just gives a lot of information regarding our coastal areas, what to do in the event, there's a tsunami, any inundation, stuff like that. We also have worked with our partners in University of Hawaii with the NEOWave modeling. So that kind of covers, again, the ones or the projects that we've recently worked on is Apra Harbor, Agana Bay, Agate Bay, and in the future we'll be working on NEOWave modeling for Chalampago.
What is NEOWave modeling?
It's a tsunami mapping, basically.
I see.
Yeah, it's tsunami mapping. So just on a scientific level.
So it's scientifical.
Yeah. It shows us
gotcha.
like what would happen if there was a huge earthquake that happened in Japan or Philippines, and what the effects would look like for Guam. So they're able to have
Right.
all of these different models generate these different images and kind of see where we would get the most inundation, and they are able to use our actual geographic layout of the land. So it's really great.
It's like a simulation kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So let me ask you this, knock on wood, because we always, every time there's a quake in Japan or in the area, we always get that warning from you
Yes.
guys. According to the simulations, what magnitude quake would trigger a possible,
Destructive tsunami.
yeah,
Well, a major or destructive one would anything 8.0 or higher
Wow.
or above.
and it's not a guarantee necessarily, right?
No, definitely not.
And it goes to show, the huge one that we had in '93, it just shows that it's a real possibility that we can get such a huge earthquake like that. And again, a huge earthquake that can happen in Japan. I'm actually really concerned if a large earthquake happens somewhere that's away from us. Because,
Right. That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about, so
those
then
large
that means that
destructive
we're,
tsunamis.
right.
Yeah.
So what are like the areas that we watch out for large quakes? Would it be like Japan?
Majority of the models that they produced for us was from Japan and through the Philippines as well. We also worry about earthquakes that are happening really far west of us, so even as far as like the United States, or even Australia, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, but definitely in those eastern side, the Japan and Philippine side. We're always looking out for different types of activity around there.
Nice. Okay, so maybe we got some teachers watching, or anybody who works with kids, or anybody who wants to put up this great literature here. You guys got so much,
We
cool,
have-
so many.
yeah,
I
so-
mean, you got this thing back here. Did you guys see that? Because we set up the table like.
So, we're fortunately, we're 100% federally funded, so we're
Right.
able to procure a lot of these great material. Danielle handles a really large grant, and what we've done is we try to really give it to all of the different teachers. So if you're interested, definitely come check out Guam Homeland Security. You can give us a call. Danielle has a really active outreach program trying to get all of this information to the right people.
Danelle got all the goodies, right?
She does, and it really helps our mission, because people, again, that big misconception that large destructive tsunamis can't happen here.
Well,
So
yeah, thanks for bursting my bubble
this
on that.
information really helps us get that information out, that it can happen here. This is a tsunami evacuation route wheel. Tells you where to go by village. Gosh, man.
Oh,
Did
that's
I
cool.
take my manicure?
Looks like you gotta lube your wheel.
Oh, because I'm squeezing it. But yeah, it tells you where to go by village. And if your village is not on here, then you're considered a safe location from
Oh, no way.
tsunamis.
So even if you're on the road and you happen to be in a different village, you know exactly where to go from where you're at.
And so basically, these are like higher ground areas, right?
Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely. And we do have marked areas that say assembly area for
Right.
tsunami.
And so, of course, the coastal village is obviously gonna be the
And things
areas,
that you can do.
It's also our intent to cover maximum, or have maximum coverage for the AHAs or the sirens as well.
AHAs.
All
What's that stand-
hazards alert warning system.
Wow, I'm kind of getting in here.
Yes, absolutely.
Now we have 19. We're happy to report. We had 15 for the longest time. Danone led a really huge effort to get these trailer-mounted sirens.
Right,
So
yeah.
originally these were placed low-lying areas for tsunamis. We're really happy to get these new trailer-mounted sirens because they're able to. They're mobilized. You can move
Right.
them around.
Yeah.
So we're grateful for that.
Well, guys, I just want to thank you for making the time to kind of sit down with us and talk about tsunami awareness. Anything in closing that you want to throw out there? 'Cause I know you guys got a busy day.
Well, thank you for helping our efforts in reaching the community with emergency preparedness and to celebrate Tsunami Awareness Day. Thank
Right
you.
on.
Yeah, we welcome everyone. Check out our website, ghs.guam.gov. We have a lot of great resources on there. Even our Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. You just type in Guam Homeland Security, you'll find us. And on those links, you'll also find resources that we have available for different ways that you can celebrate World Tsunami Awareness Day.
Well, there
Thank
you go.
you.
Hey, no problem, and thank you guys for making time. Hey, wishing you and yours a very happy World Tsunami Awareness Day, and thank you to Danil and Jenna here at Guam Homeland Security Office of Civil Defense. My name's Chris. This has been Group Chat. Adios.
Adios.